The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray. Feeling good, Lewis. Well, we're going to start out the show with something a little bit differently today. Someone from our den here sent me a chart on VALE, and it is just an $8 stock, but it's certainly making a really nice pattern here. As you can see, we're right at a 78% level, and we're also making a nice three-drive to a bottom pattern, so that could be a very interesting one. Now, let's get back to business and the things that really matter, and that is with the, by the way, we're going to have Norm Winsky as our guest today. Tomorrow we're going to have Bill Meridian on, and Bill has some special ideas about the coming French election on Sunday, so we want to pay attention to that. But let's take a look here at the German DAX. As you can see, this is something we've been watching for several days. We got down to the exact 61% retracement of the whole move, going way back to the left side of the chart, and we're also at the 78% retracement of that intermediate bottom that we had back on the 28th of March. So this is due for a rally. How much we're going to get, we'll have to wait and see. We'll cover some of the stocks as we go through some of the other things today, but we need to cover a few things that are in the news that I think deserve our attention. First of all, there's something coming out of the UK that they're going to be having an election. Now, that has been the reason for one of the biggest moves that we've had in the British pound. We rallied over 200 pips in just a matter of a few hours. But let's take a look at this, folks, on a longer term basis, and you'll be able to see here that this thing has been in a downtrend, I mean a big downtrend, since 2014. I remember that 2014 high up there at that 172 level, because that was an area where we had 5 major ratios occurring. And that was something that was, pretty spectacular. Now, if you'll take a look at these little red marks that you see there, one in 2015 and one in 2016, these were moves that were nearly equal. They'd only missed by about 50 pips of being perfectly equal. And when you stop and think that this is a weekly chart, that's a pretty amazing thing. But let's just look at the British pound. The way it's looking right now for a trader's purposes. Give me one little second here, and we'll get the old trader's purposes out. Here we go, and we'll bring this up here. By the way, foreign currency is by far, folks, the best thing to trade. There's absolutely, it just can't even compare between the two, believe me, or between anything. That's just the name of the tune. Boy, I've got a major problem here. How am I going to fix this? I've got hold on just a minute. Oh, I know what. There, I fixed it. Yay. All right, this is the dollar. This is the daily of the British pound. And as you can see, we had a rally of more than 230 pips. We completed a perfect ABCD from March 13th. We also completed a perfect ABCD from February 16th, and we had that big wide range bar, and now we're in a very tight trading range. Folks, that news, believe me or not, I think would tell us that we're most probably, getting ready to see a correction in this. But with that wide range bar, you really need to see if it's going to hold this level. But the interesting part is the 382 retracement of this whole move from the Brexit thing back in June of last year. That comes in at 130.30. So we have a chance that maybe the British pound is going to make it up to that 130.30 level. But frankly, what I would do is I would wait a little bit this morning, and if it doesn't go charging ahead, boy, you've got a great place, for stop protection, because you're only within about, 50 points of the old high. and that would be a relatively low risk. Now, if you'll notice that area around where it exploded from, this was back on April the 9th. That was a very small ABCD pattern finishing at the 50% level, and then, of course, it exploded up here to where we are now. So this is not out of the woods. All that is reaction to news as we see, and, that's the main thing. Now, the Dow is due to be up. In fact, it's already up about 50 points with the fact that IBM is holding it down to the tune of about 60 points. So that means that the Dow would have been up 110 early this morning. Now, whether that's going to have a monster effect on these things or not, we'll have to wait and see. Now, yesterday, we had one of the all-time favorites that we look at here in the den, Goldman Sachs, and you'll notice that Goldman Sachs had a big gap down, and then today they're being upgraded by another firm. I think it's Morgan Stanley, one of their competitors. I'm not sure of that, but that's going to leave a little island reversal on the bottom there. So, this could be a place where it's, hey, boys and girls, it's much better to buy Goldman Sachs at 217 than it is to buy it at 256. That's just simple mathematics. So whether that's going to have much of a meaning or not, I don't know. Now, let's get back to the nitty and the gritty, and that is the Treasury bond market. That thing has been going gangbusters, and we did again yesterday. I wanted to put this up to show you again what happened, and believe me, folks, this is going up, but it is not a new bull market. We got up to that 155.04 level yesterday. Again, we had the largest drop in open interest that we've had over the last 4 trading days. We've had 3 really big drops in, relatively good-sized drops in open interest. In other words, open interest not increasing, so there's no new buying coming in. It's short covering. We had one day when it was unchanged. So 3 out of the 4 days have seen open interest dropping. That is not bullish. Treasury notes is different. They've had open interest increases, but very marginally. But remember, the open interest in the Treasury notes is 6 times what it is in the Treasury bond. So even though we're having this monster rally from the 1.618 level at 145, we're up 9 handles. We actually hit 10 handles, didn't we? And that's just a short covering rally. If you look at this on a long-term basis, interest rates are going to go higher, but right now they've had a tremendous short covering rally in this thing. So watch this kind of closely, because it's going to be interesting to see what finally happens. Now, I think we get to the stock market. We want to see what some of these things could be as far as rallies this morning. We'll cover the stocks, and then we'll go into the gold market here. I feel pretty strongly today. Hold on one second. We'll put this up here. That we are going to get to the 255 level. That's the 61% retracement from the high we made way back on April the 5th. That's when Stan Harley and Mr. Winsky both said that this should be a really good turning point in the stock market, and indeed it was. We were exactly at a 78% retracement at that level, and bada bing, bada boom, it's time for the thing. We have to pay a few bills. 877-927-6648.
TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile-based scanner in the industry. Powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Larry takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Okay, we're back, folks, and we need to chat a little bit about the gold market here. We'll put this up here so we can take a look at it. This is what's been happening over the past 6 weeks. We've had a pretty big run in swings, $20, $25. Yesterday was the retracement, a perfect retracement, very similar to what we had on April the 5th. It dropped $17 an ounce. We rallied up to the exact 78% retracement. Last night, we came down exactly to the 78% retracement at the 1282 level. And so that 1282 level is going to be a very important spot to watch. If we break below that, that sets up a move of an ABCD nature that would take us down to the 1270 level, which would be a 61% retracement off of the low that we made on April the 10th. So keep that one in mind as you're looking at these things. Now, silver has been acting just a whole lot worse, and we'll just put this up to see what we're watching here. And you'll notice here that silver came down and made a 61% retracement. Was actually a little better than the gold, because the gold went down to the 786. I just noticed that. My bad. Anyway, it hasn't been able to rally. That's the only thing that you want to keep in mind. And we're down again today, so this is not out of the woods yet. So we'll have to wait and see. Okay, a question has arisen about the open interest. Where do I find it? Folks, it's very simple to do. You just go to www.cme.com. That's ChicagoMercantileExchange.com. You click on data, and then you look up there, and it'll say volume and open interest, and you click on that, and then you scroll down to the future that you want to see, and that'll tell you what the open interest is, what the volume is, what the net change in the open interest is, and they do that every day. It comes out around midnight New York time each evening, so that you'll be able to have that in the morning when you're ready, to start trading. Now, the only time I look at open interest is in a time like what we have going on here in bonds right now. And believe me, I'm a sold out bear. I took a small loss in that puppy yesterday. I stood aside in it because we were still going a lot higher. I didn't want to risk any more than a really small amount, less than around 1%. And so I'll look at it again. That's all I'll do is I'll wait for the next pattern that I see. I don't have anything at this time. We have some resistance here at this 155.05 level, but that's all we have. So there's not really anything there to tell me what's going on. But after a period of hours, all day today and tomorrow, I might have a really nice low risk entry point, and that's the one I'll look for. And the reason why I'm going to keep looking for it is the open interest keeps dropping. And folks, that's skull and crossbones stuff. We've seen this in silver and gold and so many other things, but with the Treasury bonds, it's just not kicking in right now. Now, I wanted to do one other thing today to talk about some of these things, and that is the fact of where we are in these bonds on a little bit longer term basis. Let's go back over 60 minutes to see it's not longer term, but you can see the strength of this move that we've had here. It looked like it had every possibility of topping at that 154.12 level, and once we went above that, that told us that you were probably going to go a great deal lower. And all we've done so far this morning is just back off just about one handle, which it's moving $1,000 all the time now. So the main thing is that there will be another opportunity, but it's not going to be today. So I will not be watching that very, very closely. I will be watching that stock market because we do have a perfect Gartley there in the E-mini up at that 23.55 level. We're going to be up a lot if we get to that, so we'll have to be extremely careful. I've been asked to take a look at the red metal, copper, which we've had on our watch list for a very long time, and we'll put this up here to let you see. I meant to remind everybody again, we'll have Norm Winsky on here in about 7 minutes, and then tomorrow we'll have Bill Meridian from Cycles Research in Austria. But as we get to the copper, you can see that we have an ABCD structure in copper measuring down to 245. That'll be an interesting spot because that'll be the first good ABCD pattern since the November election. And that ought to be pretty good support in the copper because we tested that support twice on the way up. And so that should be pretty strong support at 245. That's down about another 9 cents from where we're trading this morning. So watch that, very, very closely. As you mentioned, or as we were talking about yesterday, on the crude oil market, we do have a crude oil inventory number coming out today, about $1 a barrel lower. I would really be interested in looking at the long side of the crude oil. That would put you right into the area of around 51.50 basis to June crude, and I think that would be something that would be, very, very interesting as far as a spot where you'd have a really good spot to have a low risk entry in the crude oil, if there is such a thing. And when you're trading crude, you have to risk about 80 pips because it jumps around, like a rocket ship sometimes. Someone asked me, what's a pip? A pip means percentage in price. It's a Forex terminology. It basically means one tick, but that's really what you're looking at, PIP, percentage in price. There's several different ways people say that, but the official way, from what I was told by Ben Stein, the guy who you see on Fox News and CNN and everything, the attorney, the son of Herb Stein, he set me straight. It's PIP means percentage in price. Let's take a look here at the U.S. dollar. This is one that is forming a really nice Gartley pattern down here. It's also going to be a 3-drive pattern, as you can see, down around this 97.60 level. If this is going to hit 97.60, we believe that the euro is going to get up to that area of about 110. And remember, the euro is still very bearish long term, but it could have one heck of a rally from here, which we've seen many times before. But sometime, probably this year or early next year, we're going to see the euro at below par. In other words, below 100. But right now, what it looks like is that we are going to have some pretty stiff resistance. We're right at the 78% retracement this morning in the dollar index, and that equates to what we're looking at in the euro, and that's important. Wow, I can't believe I posted 12 charts in here this morning. Folks, it would be nice if some of you have any questions to call in, because that helps spread out my time and gives me some things to talk about, because I think some of you guys get a little tired of listening to the same old rhetoric every day of the patterns that I look at. Unfortunately, I can't add any fundamental information to you, because if I did that, I would need to be able to write it on the head of a pen in boldface type, because that I don't understand, but I do understand ups and downs. Stay tuned for Norm Winsky, 877-927-6648.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters. In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, hi folks, this is Larry Pesavento along with Norm Winsky. Norm, are you there?
Yes, sir, Larry. Good morning.
Good morning to you. We have a caller. It's one of our good friends from Boston, Massachusetts. Jay, are you there?
Yes, I certainly am. Morning, guys. Had a question for you, a general question. 2 kinds of astrology that I've learned exist. Sidereal, which was developed by the Babylonians. That one is based on the stars. But Tropic was developed by the Greeks, and that one is based on the seasons. And as I understand it, there's slippage with what the Greeks developed. So the Tropic astrology's got some slippage that fouls things up. even to the point where 60% of all the people who think they know their sun sign are off, that it's actually another sun sign. So I was wondering if Norm and tomorrow maybe Bill might be able to address that and tell us which type they use and which type they think is better for stock purposes.
It's over my pay grade, Norm. It's all yours.
Okay, well, it's not for stocks; it's everything. It works. Here's what I think. I think tropical works better than the sidereal, or the Indians do it too. It's called they call it Vedic, and it's just harmonic. So you divide the circle up into even parts, 30 degrees, and follow there's a something called the precession equinox, and that's what I believe the tropical is based on. And you can go look at the seasonals. The seasonal for gold, I think the bottom's the third week of July on tropical. That's when the sun goes into Leo. Everybody knows, almost everybody knows, and I even read an old Indian text that said that the sun and Leo are gold. So that doesn't match up for the other. So there you go.
Oh, so in other words, which system do you favor?
Tropical.
Tropical. Ah, I
Yep,
see.
Perhaps. Yep.
Oh, terrific. Yeah, well, thanks. I appreciate it. That's all I want to know. I'm happy to hear what you have to say today.
Okay.
Hey, if you run into a 17-year-old 6'2" kid that looks like he's from California, say hello. It'll be my grandson. He's visiting Boston with his cousins, so
Sounds good.
he's having a great time. He really enjoys it, so that's good. Anyway, thanks for calling in, buddy. I appreciate it.
Yep, thank you.
You bet. Okay, Norm, why don't we go ahead and start with your usual show, and we'll go from there. How's that?
Sounds good. Okay, so I was on your show the morning of April 5th. That was a Wednesday, 2 weeks ago. And the reason I was on there that day, because I'd ask you if I could come on your show, because I thought that was going to be an important change in trend day, because Saturn was turning retrograde that evening. Okay, so that's usually within one trading day. You get important change in trends with the planets are either turned to go retrograde or direct. But when they do that, they stop momentarily. That's called a station point. How does that happen? Due to the rolling motion of the Earth to the other planets. Then if you go out in the night sky and plot the planets, you would see that from Earth's point of view, it appears, that's the key word, appears that the planets do this thing individually, that they look like they stop their motion and then change to go the opposite direction. When they stop to go forward, that's called stationary direct. When they stop to go backwards, that's called stationary retrograde. So here we go. I have all these dates listed in the on the screen for the April 5 show. This is just a repeat. We're going to see how this all worked out. So there you go. April 5. We now know that so far was the high of the month for the stock market on April the 5th. As a matter of fact, I think it topped out about an hour after I was on your show.
It sure did.
Yes, sir. And then we rallied. We had a pullback. Here's the S&P index 10-minute bar chart. So we had a pullback, then we had a little rally into the weekend. That was my next date. April 7th, AC is after the close. Mercury in Taurus turned retrograde. I think that was on Sunday evening. And we also had a full moon on that following Monday. And so there you go. There's a little red arrow there for Mercury turning retrograde, SR, stationary retrograde. And there's another nice top there. Then from there we went down, 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 until my next date, which was April 13th, after the close. That was a 3-day weekend, holiday weekend, and there we go. That was a beautiful one there. Bang, right to we were down that Thursday, and then we came back on Monday, and it was off to the races on the upside. So I think these have been working pretty well.
They certainly have.
There you go. So there's the stock market. If you want, I think, fairly precise timing. Then I would be looking at this stuff, and there you go. Here's I mentioned some other markets the last time I was on. I mentioned coffee because Saturn is connected to the coffee, and here's your coffee market, and there's your Saturn turning retrograde over here, and there we go. That was kind of a low area. It wasn't exact as precise as the stock market was, but still you're in a nice bottoming area there. And I also will be coming back and looking at coffee here in a minute, because the reason I asked to come on your show today was because now Pluto's doing its thing tonight. And Pluto is going to turn retrograde, and it's in Capricorn, which is also the sign associated with coffee. So we'll be looking at coffee again. Look at that. Now here's a potentially nice setup and at least as of last night, coffee has been going up, up, up. So we'd be looking for a potential top here in the next, either in the next 1 to 2 trading days.
Okay, Norm, we got a question from someone, and that is about Pluto. Is that there's some arguments of whether Pluto is even a planet or not. Do you have any comments about that?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that. Yesterday, the moon lined up with Pluto at 9:59 a.m. Eastern Time. Go look at your charts. The stock market topped the next minute. The difference was 1 minute and 1 tick.
Mm-hmm. Could you get it a little bit more accurate next time, say within 35 to 40 seconds?
Yes, sir. I will sharpen my pencil and see if I can do better. You know what? Maybe if I polish the telescope, then I'll
there you go. Do you have a telescope, Norm?
I don't think so.
No, I just thought maybe you had one just for personal use.
Not a telescope. I have a computer that spits this stuff out for me.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right. You want to get down to the next one, which is the corn?
Yes, sir. I mentioned that Mercury was turning retrograde, and Mercury is connected to the grains. And so, for the sake of speed here, time constraints, I picked corn and to see how that would work. And there you go. Here's Mercury turning retrograde over the 7th weekend. And there you go. That was a nice low area there for corn. You see that?
That's a beauty. And then the next one is the cotton, the fluff.
Yes, sir. And there's your cotton. And this was for the Venus turning direct over the 13th weekend, 3-day weekend. And that's not a bad little low there for cotton. You see that?
Okay. Now, the next one you've got to look at is cocoa. And I don't trade cocoa. And we're just seeing a regular technical chart without any of your astrological timings. What we were trying to explain
what we got here for cocoa is the Pluto's going retrograde tonight. Pluto's connected to cocoa. So look at this. This is potentially an interesting situation. We had this market obviously going down, down, down the last several weeks, and now, but it looks like it might be losing a little downside momentum here. You see that? And what I'd like to see have it in the next day or so, a poke one little poke lower here and test the previous lows and kind of get down to the lows. That could be a nice setup for a buy on the cocoa.
That's a good one. Yeah. Oh, we got to pay a few bills, Norm. We'll pay a few bills. We'll be right back with Norm Winsky of Astro Trend. Thanks, Norm. We'll be right back.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you like it does me, visit everbank.com/TFNN to find out what they can do for you. Again, that's everbank.com/TFNN. Visit them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
TFNN has put together the finest live programming lineup each trading day, featuring some of the most knowledgeable and respected financial minds in the nation to educate traders and investors. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we broadcast 9 hours a day starting at 8 a.m. as John Logan kicks us off each trading day with the Global Market Pulse. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we broadcast 11 hours. Get an early and healthy start to your day as Nico and Paige bring you Living a Primal Lifestyle. Then catch Andy Hecht at 5 p.m. with the Commodities Hour, following the Tom O'Brien Show. Mondays and Fridays, catch live trading on the Nadex platform with host Tom and Tommy O'Brien, along with Daryl Martin on the Bull Bear Binary Option Hour. See the TFNN program lineup via the link on the front page of TFNN.com to get a complete overview of our TFNN shows shows and hosts. And keep TFNN's Tiger TV tuned in on your mobile device, PC, or Mac for the latest financial news and information throughout the broadcasting day. TFNN, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Catch the Money Masters as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to trading and investing. Next on TFNN.
Okay, we're back, folks, and we're talking with Norm Winski. We have a question, Norm, from one of our listeners. And what are the ruling planets and houses for the S&P and gold?
Well, the S&P is the big stock indices. The stock market is the big basket of everything. So there's not any one planet or sign for the stock market. It's everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I mentioned gold earlier was Leo in the sun.
Okay.
It's because you know why? You know why?
Okay.
Because the sun is the sun is bright golden and glittery and sunny.
Mm-hmm.
It's sunny too, but I give you a clue for some other markets too.
Yeah,
this stuff is first grade level. The people that overthink this will never get the answers. You have to go back to the first grade to get the answers to this.
Those the first 4 years I was in the first grade was some of my best education. Norm, we got another one here that we're really interested in here in the den because we've been watching to buy hogs this week. And
I know. I was going to talk about that. Let me jump in here. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Fire away.
Anyway, I just wanted to show you. Follow up on the cocoa here for 5 seconds. Okay. So take a mental picture of the cocoa chart. I mentioned that was connected to Pluto, right? Cocoa has an astro cousin, hogs. Look at the charts; they're somewhat similar. You see that?
Yeah, they are. Huh.
There you go. Now I know you have get close to a good Gartley setup. I don't know how you would say that, but that's what I remember watching your show. And guess what? Tonight Pluto turns retrograde, so I'd be looking. I agree with you. I'd be looking for a possible. It'd be nice if it went down a little bit today and tested these lows today. Does that line up with your Gartley? You'd like to see a little poke down?
Very good.
Okay, now let's. Yes, you agree with that?
Yeah, that's a yes. That's a yes. Okay. I have to agree with that. Now the next one we want to take a look at, of course, here is the Treasury bond market that's been in the news for quite a bit. And I have a personal question. Norm, do you look at open interest at all when you're doing your charts?
Not usually. Nope.
Okay.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that's not valid. I just not part of my regular regimen. Right?
Well, I understand that because not every, and I don't use it very often except when markets are really screaming. I want to see, where the players are coming from. But go ahead, let's finish our Treasury bonds here.
All right, so the T bonds, they're also connected to Pluto. Bonds in general are connected to Pluto. It's a little more involved with when you get to a country's bonds, sovereign bonds. You got to throw in the country's natal chart too. But anyway, so we had the bonds going up. So we'd be setup is very important to all these trades, as you imply in your Gartley methodology, that you got to have a good setup. So right now we almost had a good setup here a day or so ago, but now bonds are pulling back. And so my ideal scenario would be to go back up and test these highs here, and then I'd like to sell them. But the stock market and the bond market have been going kind of opposite, and so it's probably looks like we're going to have an up day. I'm expecting a change in trend for the stock market, and I'm hoping that it goes up today, and so we can test some highs here. I got a magic number. I have a formula to convert the planetary positions at these key times two certain numbers and one of my harmonic numbers. We'll go back and look at that in a minute. On the S&P at 2354 area, if we can get there, that would be a beautiful thing, Mm-hmm. So anyway, so here's the scenario that probably nobody wants to hear about. If the bonds continue down here for a day or so and then turn around, could be a pullback in a big uptrend, and I don't think anybody's looking for. That means lower interest rates. I don't think anybody's looking for lower interest rates. Everybody's thinking higher interest rates, right?
Well, they've rallied 9 handles when they thought they were going to go higher. So the last 2 handles were mine. So we'll see what happens.
Okay. So anyway, look for a change in trend here within the next day or so for those 3 markets, because Pluto's turning retrograde. You got your cocoa, your hogs, and your bonds. Okay.
Okay. We have another
now we're going
question.
to go back and just look at the S&P one more time because it's
okay.
relevant now. So there we go. Here's your S&P chart. Here's where we're at right now, and I think we're up about 7 or 8 handles when I last looked a little while ago.
Yes.
There we go. Up 9 now. Up 9 or something like that. So I'm hoping we can get up to maybe this level. We see that red line right there?
2355?
2354 area, yep.
Okay. Yeah, that completes a Gartley pattern right there also.
Really? Cool.
Yeah.
So I have a formula to take where Pluto is now, and because it's like emphasized now because it's turning retrograde tonight, and convert that to price, and that would be a harmonic, not the 1-to-1 ratio, 1-to-1, but it would be a harmonic of that, if we could get up there.
We have a question from one of our listeners, Norm, about the work of Luther Jensen. Did you study his work as far as houses and things like that? Because I know at one time
I read his book, and I actually called him up and talked to him a couple of times.
Really? Wow.
Back in the late 70s. I think about 77, 78, maybe somewhere around there. I called him up. Somehow I found able to track him down there. He was based, I think, out of Kansas City.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it sure was. The good. That's the only good thing about getting old, Arch, Norm, is the fact that you have memories of talking to some of these old people.
Oh yeah,
I talked
to some amazing people. I talked to a guy who was Gann's partner for 10 years.
Oh, Lambert?
Nope. I talked to Mr. Quarter.
Oh, that was before Lambert.
He actually worked with Gann for about 10 years. He got the job. He was obviously a younger guy. I wouldn't be talking to him in the 80s, back in the 80s there. And so he's got the job when he was a young man because his father had been one of Gann's astrologers, worked with Gann as his astrologer. And then the torch got passed to the son,
Okay, what happened? What did he say about Gann? Because there's so much mystery surrounding Gann. Did he give you any indications about the man or his trading or anything like that?
Yes, he did. I got him to tell me this very important line. He said, first and foremost, Gann was astrological.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody out there had any doubts about Gann using astrology, you can forget those now, because that's what it is. Gann was first and foremost astrological. I can show you charts where he had planets all over that famous 48 soybean chart. There's planets all over the place on that thing.
Yeah, I've seen that chart too, and some others too that I've seen. The most amazing thing that I thought about Gann was the fact that he was a 33rd degree Mason, and he never mentioned the Fibonacci word in any of his writings ever.
Oh yeah.
And, that was just
how much
totally
time do
amazing
they have?
to me.
Do I have time to tell a story? I want to make sure.
Please, yeah, this is what we have you on for, buddy. Go ahead.
Well, anyway, so this is kind of a crazy thing. That is interesting you brought that up, because that was a great mystery to me for 40 years. I said, how can this guy who went to all these great libraries in the world, he studied at the British Museum Library, the Astor Library, all these great repositories of ancient writings and so forth. There's no way that he didn't run across Fibonacci, right?
Yeah.
And so one day, a couple of years ago, I turned on my TV, and it's Donald Trump. Okay?
Yes.
I think about Donald Trump. I said, Donald Trump got to put his name on everything. Wait, Donald Trump, he's a Gemini. W.D. Gann, he's a Gemini. I think they have some similar traits here where they have to stick their name on everything. And that is why, my theory is, are we going to be coming back? I hear music.
Yeah, we're going to come back. Stay with us, Norm. We want to finish this up. Thank you. 877-927-6648.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, folks, we're back and we're talking with Norm Winsky of Astro Trends about WDN. You want to finish your story? Go ahead.
Yes, sir. So anyway, studying, thinking about Trump, you know, if he couldn't stick his name on it, it doesn't exist. I thought about Gann. I said that's probably it. He didn't want to give credit to a 12th century mathematician, and he couldn't stick his name on the Fibonacci. He did somewhat simulate Fibonacci by giving you the Gann harmonic system, where you divide a range into eighths. 5/8 is 0.625. That's close to 618, and 3/8 is 0.375, which is close to your 382.
Okay.
That's my theory. I'm sticking to it.
Okay, now tell the folks how they can reach you, Norm.
Righto. So I got about 45, 50 years of experience. I was a former Chicago floor trader, so I got a little bit of experience. And we got the free class coming up, and one-to-one class on Skype. If you do the class, then you get my letter. And the next cycle will be in May, and so you need to contact me right away, because I already got people lined up for a May class, and I only can do about 6 or 8 of these a month, and I'll do them all in about a 1-week period. And so, because it takes me 2 weeks to write my letter, so then I'm always working on by the middle of the month, I'm always working on the next letter. I'm working on it in May right now. So anyway, contact me. You get the free letter, the free class. And let's see, here we go. And here's my contact info. I'm here in Naples, Florida. There's my phone, 239-594-3939. That's 239-594-3939. You can email me at nwinski@embarkmail, embarkmail.com, embarkmail.com, or you can call me on Skype at norm.winski. Looking forward to helping all your folks. Now, I know some people look at this and think, man, this is really complicated, but the truth is, once you get used to the terminology, there's nothing here that a fifth grader couldn't do. Mm-hmm. There's no complicated mathematics, believe me.
All right. You make sense to me, and you've done a great job. I want to thank you for joining us on the show today. And when you'd like to come on again to give us some more information, give us a call.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Norm Winski, Astro Trend. Thanks a lot, Norm. Bye-bye.
You bet. Looking forward to helping some of your folks. Thanks. Bye.
Okay.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.